Hello and welcome to St Helens Chamber. I'm joined here today by Beth, one of our admin apprentice assistants. Beth is going to tell us a little bit about her journey with the Chamber and becoming an apprentice. So first of all, Beth, just tell me a little bit about your role and what it is you do at the Chamber.
So I'm on the workforce development team. So I currently sign up all the apprentices. So I do all the paperwork, I liaise with all the employers and the new learners, the employees, and we get all of the paperwork sorted, all the funding sorted. So I'm kind of behind the scenes making everything run really smoothly. Before this role, I was on a different role, so I was still in the same team, but I was on the recruitment side. So I was speaking to candidates, employers, looking at CVs, booking interviews, booking work trials. So even as my apprenticeship has been going ahead, I've changed work roles and they've kind of accommodated that within my apprenticeship, and it's not hindered it, it's not delayed anything. It's been like a really smooth transition, and it's led to me having a lot more learning on top of my apprenticeship as well. So I'm learning all these different roles, all these different skills, I'm taking on all these different responsibilities, and it's been really, really fun from both a new career perspective and also an apprenticeship perspective. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, brilliant. So how did you find out about the apprenticeship opportunity?
I actually stumbled into this job, so it was quite an interesting journey. So I was on furlough due to COVID with my last job, and as furlough was coming to the end, I started applying to loads of business admin jobs because I was working outdoors and I realised that wasn't for me anymore because it's freezing in England. So I wanted to start working in the office, and I got rejected from 50 to 100 jobs, and everything that they were asking for seemed to be with business admin or a business admin level 3 qualification, which I didn't have. So I started looking at different ways that I could build my skills if I couldn't get a business admin qualification. And one of the skills courses I looked at was an Excel course. So I started on your course through Excel, and I think I did Word or PowerPoint. All 3 courses, all for adults, were really, really good. And while I was there, I learned about the Fast Track to Apprenticeship course. So I ended up doing that as well. They taught me all about CVs, interview skills, more about business admin and what sector I was actually going into, because it turned out I did not know anything about business admin. You can do HR, you can do accounting, all sorts comes under business admin, everything office based. So I learned a lot on that. And then one of the days they asked me if I wanted to do some work experience upstairs in the office. So I went up and I must have offered to anybody who listened to me. I asked if I could help them. I had a really positive attitude going in, and it was all so interesting. I was learning different people's job roles. I was doing all sorts from printing, from making files, speaking to the learners, speaking to employers. So even on work experience, you guys really got me stuck into all of the different roles. And I think I might have impressed people because I got called into the senior manager's office and I thought I was in trouble. It turns out she offered me a job. So she said she had to speak to the board of directors, but she wanted to keep me on in the company. And then she said she had to make a new job role for me because there wasn't one available, but that she wanted to put me on a business admin apprenticeship. So not only did I get employment out of these courses, which I didn't go into thinking I would, but I got the qualification that was going to get me all the jobs that I'd just been rejected from. So it all worked out perfectly, and it was just as my furlough ended. So it literally, everything fell into place so perfectly. It was really, really
brilliant. Well done. That's amazing. So what 3 things would you recommend to someone if they wanted to be an apprentice?
To be an apprentice, I think don't be afraid to ask questions. You have all the qualities, you can be friendly, you can be polite, all of that is what the employer looks for, but it's their job to teach you your job role. But it's not like school, they'd rather you not make mistakes. So I think ask as many questions as possible. My manager must be sick of me right now because I ask every question under the sun. But it helps you learn. And if you're nervous about asking questions, I've started blaming it on my apprenticeship. So I started saying I need to evidence it. So can I just ask you again so I can write it down? So if you don't want to keep asking questions, just start blaming it on your apprenticeship. But definitely ask questions, learn as much as possible. The next one is get to know your colleagues. So you have to evidence lots of learning during your apprenticeship. So you can evidence their job role. So if somebody teaches you what they do, write it down and use it as evidence, because I have to do 400 hours of learning. That's anything from sitting in meetings, shadowing people, learning my job role, researching topics, completing work. So there's a lot you can do, but near the end it gets harder to start evidencing things. So the more you know your colleagues, the more you can evidence that you sat down and you taught me your job role and I can evidence it. So it's well worth knowing people. The last one, I think, is work on your time management. You have a lot to do and you have a lot of topics to learn, and for my apprenticeship on the level 3 we do a project and a knowledge quiz or a knowledge test, and you have to kind of schedule in that around your work, because it's not like homework. You don't go home and do it additionally. You have to kind of make sure you're advocating for yourself and make sure you're getting that time within your job to do your apprenticeship work. I know my manager, she gives me a full day to do my apprenticeship work, so it's separate from the rest of my job role, so I concentrate on my job role Monday to Friday. Other people I've learned, they do half days here and there, but your employers sign a contract to give you 20% to be able to do it. It's just about managing and keeping it all up to date, and make sure you're on top of uploading what you're learning. I think I'd upload it as you learn it and don't do what I did and write it all down, and then I have like 50 submissions to put on all at once, because it's not fun that way. Definitely do it in like bits and pieces and just spread it out for yourself, because it's so manageable when you spread it out, and it's a really fun qualification when you don't let it get too much and you let it stress you out. But having a supportive employer and having good time management, I think that's going to be your biggest help in your apprenticeship.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Beth. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have you working with us at the Chamber, and well done on your apprenticeship journey so far.
Thank you.